again. So last time we set up a Laravel application and we put in the Shadcn UI library. That's a React library. And we set up client-side validation. And so I mentioned last time that one potential issue with that is when you have a validation rule that is only on the server and can't be duplicated on the client side, something like having a unique email, for instance. If you have that kind of an issue, then you won't have any kind of feedback on the front end, and it'll be obviously a bad user experience to not have any feedback that you can't create a user with that email. So I'm going to show you how to kind of go about this with a hybrid approach. One possibility is that you could also use a library like Laravel's precognition, which will kind of do this on the fly. But this is another option. It just uses inertia, and when you submit the form, it will take the validation errors that come back and put them into the form. So let's get started. First of all, I wanted to go over what I've done since last time. So first of all, let me open up a new tab here and let me show you the register form that I've created. So basically this is just using everything that we learned last time, and I've created a form that when you submit it, it has validation errors. And one particularly interesting thing is that you can do password confirmation validation. You basically do this with this refine function on the Zod object. So we kind of already talked about all of this type of thing with your schema, but we haven't talked about this. So you can do refine and then basically run any checks that you want here. And then obviously if that fails, then you can pass this particular validation error back to that particular key. So you can see that here. If I type in a fake password and hit register, you can see the password don't match there. So everything's working, but there's one small problem, and we've already kind of talked about this. So I already have a testedexample.com user, so I'm just going to fill out the form and hit register. And you will see there was no feedback in this form. And we got a 302 back from the server, and you can see here that the response is that the email has already been taken. So we need to take this response from the server and kind of put it into this form here. So let's do that. So first thing, we need to grab the errors, and you can do that. This is basic inertia. So we'll do const errors. Things are already going pretty good here, guys. I think it's use page, and you can say props. Okay. And then we're going to set up a use effect. So I will just do that anywhere in here. Use effect. And this is going to be based on errors. And basically what we're going to do here is we're going to say object keys errors map. And then for each error, I want to loop through, and I want to say, first of all, let's just console log it out here, because I don't remember exactly what we're getting. So if I fill out the form again, Okay. All right, I'm back. So full disclosure, I had to pop over to my other branch and figure out what I'm supposed to do here because I completely forgot. So here we are. We're back. Basically, we're going to do something like this. Error schema equals z.enum. And then I'm going to pass in name, email, password, password confirmation. And then we can get a valid error by doing error schema dot parse, and then we'll pass in our error. And then we can say form dot set error valid error. And then we need a type of, I think it's value. And then, whoops, message will be errors error. Okay. Good. So that's happy. And let's see, that should do it all. So we've got our object key. So this will loop through all of the errors. So if there's one that's name, one that's email, one that's password, for instance, then it will pass each into here. And then the form will set the errors based on whatever particular error there is. The reason we do all this parsing is because there may be no errors. So we don't want to break our app here. Okay. So let's head back here. And I'm going to go ahead and try to redo my little thing here. And this time, with any luck, we should be able to get our validation error. Hooray! So that is a way that you can use client-side Shadcn routing and still handle form errors that come from the server that are specific to the server in your form. So anyway, one other thing that you could do is as you are making changes to this email field, you could hit a separate endpoint that checks to see if the email that you're entering is valid or not. But I think this is probably sufficient for most cases, and especially in a registration form, you don't need a lot of that instant feedback for something like that. So at any rate, hope you enjoyed it.